worst's got the best of me. It appears that I've lost everything. Having a hard time putting words on things.
Need a sharp knife or something. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone is having a happy Tuesday. Shit. What's that? Okay. Welcome to my channel. If you're just tuning in for the first time, today's pretty different from what I've been doing lately, and I'm excited to share this with you guys because I kind of made a decision over the past couple of days and over the weekend. Wow, that's crazy. All the layers of paint. That's all paint that I've accumulated on this Lazy Susan. You can see that's what it started with. And now that I've peeled, because OCD is fun like this, now that I've peeled a part off, it's going to become this like challenge to get all the old paint. Wow, look at that. Oh my God, I could do a whole video on just peeling paint off of something. Look how thick that is. That is wild. It's almost a badge of honor, I feel like, having this much paint built up on my Lazy Susan. Look at that. These are there's color in there from the very first layers of paint I put down a couple of years ago. That's thick. That's crazy. Now I feel like I want to do, like I have to do more or something, which is bad. It's a way to kill time while we're waiting for some people to join the chat. Maybe you find this pretty satisfying like I am. That is wild. That's just all old paint. Layer upon layer upon layer of different projects I've done over the last couple of years. And the paint has just built up in this big, thick sheet of old paint. And I'm not going to lie, it's pretty satisfying peeling this off. It's really satisfying. I'm going to keep going with it because it's actually going pretty fast, considering. And I'm just getting so much of like a dopamine rush just doing this, peeling this paint off. I mean, I'm sure some of you might have seen videos of satisfying things happening. This would be one of them, like just peeling off layers of paint. Whoa. It's like a stubborn part here in the middle. I'm just going for it. Like, all right, cool. Today's the day to start over with this. Building up gunk on my Lazy Susan hobby Lazy Susan. Which, by the way, if you're doing miniatures or, you know, scale figures and stuff like what I do, and you don't know this already, maybe you're just getting started in the hobby, get a Lazy Susan, like a plastic rotating one. Like, this thing was like $10 on Amazon. Change your life. You know, you can have your figure sitting here and you can work around just by rotating it, you know, while you're painting and stuff. It's a must-have in any builder's emporium. If you're building stuff or making models, gotta have a Lazy Susan. I mean, maybe you don't, but in my model world of figure painting, doing whatever it is I do with 3D printing, gotta have this thing. Yo, that's so crazy. That's just huge chunks of paint just peeling off of there. There's a lot of projects built up on this Lazy Susan here. It's kind of cool. You can definitely tell it's the thickest in the like in this area, because there's always something in the middle. So most of the paint has built up in this section right here. And that's what's the easiest to peel off. And the thinner it gets towards the edges, the harder it is to peel off in big chunks. It's just cool. Dude, that's so satisfying. Dudes. Yeah, it's like 3 years of paint. I think it's been about 3 years since I started painting models. Well, again, until I started painting models again. I hadn't done it for 20 years or more, longer than that. I didn't build anything. In my youth, I was too busy playing guitar, skateboarding, and partying with my friends to spend time on building models. I was busy not being bored doing other things. Looks like it's going to be a quiet day in the chat. That's all right. Just about satisfied with paint peeling here, and I'm going to get down to it. Start talking about what's going on in the 3D painters world of projects. Cool. That's like an old piece of resin or something right there. A lot of cool things have happened on this Lazy Susan. And this is just one side. I paint on both sides of it. I don't know if it's even or not. Imagine if I did all my painting on just one side, like how gnarly caked on there it would be. Probably wouldn't be able to see the patterns anymore, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to sand that down a little bit so it doesn't snag on paper towels and shit. Look at all that paint that I just peeled off of there. That's pretty wild. That all came off of this. The other side is just the same. It's just layers of paint. Gambit! What's up, my dude? What is going on? Look at... That's 3 years worth of paint that was stuck to the top of the Lazy Susan here. I just peeled off. It was pretty satisfying. A lot of it came off in like big chunks. Like this. That's pretty cool. And then this side, obviously, I haven't painted over that or haven't peeled any of that off yet. That's like 3 years worth of paint and crap. Yeah, it's wild, dude. I could start a piece here, but then I won't be able to stop. That's what happened on this side. I peeled one little piece off and like it broke off in a big chunk. You can watch it later or something when I publish the stream, but yeah, it broke off in a big old chunk. And I was like, oh shit, that's like all the way down to the original Lazy Susan. That's kind of cool. And then I could not stop peeling those big chunks of paint off. Yeah, OCD, yeah, definitely. I definitely have OCD. I've got some OCD. Definitely, I've definitely ADHD. So, you know, we get a dopamine rush from hyper focusing on something like that. You know, it's really satisfying. You know, you get this dopamine rush peeling shit off. I mean, there's YouTube channels totally dedicated to that stuff, which I think is wild, but I would watch it. I would totally watch people peel paint off shit like this. Oh. So, I know it's real slow in the chat today, which is fine, but I got some shit to talk about. We've got decisions to make. Nothing bad. Nothing bad. But I am taking a break again. Bring you guys into that. See, I'm just assembling some shit here off camera real quick. Oh yeah, almost forgot. So I was saying earlier when I started my stream that I took some pretty good time over the weekend to think and contemplate and reflect and stuff. Just adjusting my camera real quick. And thanks for the like, everyone. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you like what I'm doing here. I mean, you're not seeing much yet right now today, but got to talk talk about some shit first. I'm gonna try to make it quick, especially for anybody watching later. So I've been working on Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides Boga, and I'm not gonna quit. You know, I'm not giving up on this model. Not no way. No way am I giving up working on this model. However, however, um, I've realized that I've been feeling pressured only by myself to get this model done by August, which is when we're having our big county fair here. And I've realized that I really don't want to give myself deadlines like that, especially for such a huge and massive and important project to me, you know, personally. I want it to be perfect. It's got to be up to my standards. It's got to look exactly right. I keep finding little bits and pieces that I'm not happy with, and I want to go over it. It's got to be perfect. That's just all there is to it. And it's going to require a tremendous amount of more work that I feel is boring to watch on camera, for one. And two, it's really, really time consuming, and it's eating up time from other projects that I want to do this year. I'm really behind. I should have already had at least 2 or 3 figures done, um, and I want to work on that stuff. It gets old sculpting all the scales and the little details that you find in this model, um, and it's so big. There's so much of it, and I want it to be so perfect that, you know, I, I just yeah, I don't want to bore everybody. I don't want to bore you guys with the menial shit like sculpting the scales in you know, parts of the jaw, for example, or her entire body. Uh, for for a better example, I mean, there's so much more work to do before I feel like I'm going to get it perfect and I'm going to be happy with it. I don't care what anybody else thinks. At the end of the day, it's how I look at it for myself and even from an outsider. And I'm going to be my biggest critic. So it's got to be done right. I know me, and it's time to just pause for a minute. So that's what's happening. I am pausing Obi-Wan Kenobi Rides Boga. I am taking away my personal deadline of having it done by August. And I'm approaching it more with I'm going to work on it when I feel like working on it as far as the sculpting part goes. And it's going to go off camera. I don't want to bore everybody with this scale sculpting and puttying and gap filling and sanding. It's just a boring content. It's just boring content to me at that point, especially when it's day after day. That's the one crux of doing a lot of live streams over doing actually produced videos. When I was producing a lot of the videos, I would, you know, I would just film myself while I was working. I didn't talk to anybody. There was no engagement. I didn't feel like I was able to teach or share anything that I wanted to share or talk about while I was working on different projects. And I felt like that. I felt like that part of this hobby was missing. You know, the engagement. So I decided that I wanted to get back to working on some figures and doing some different shit, and then go from there. So that's what I'm going to do. A friend of mine recently mentioned that he was interested in getting some mini replica guitars to put up around his house and stuff, you know, little decorations here and there, whatever. And I was like, dude, that's kind of cool. That'd be a fun little project. And, you know, we just kind of didn't really go any further than that, but it piqued my curiosity. I was like, I wonder what's out there for like, you know, little miniature guitar replicas. You know, that's something I never thought of to do as a little project. And so I went on Thingiverse. Went on Thingiverse and a couple other sites and checked out what they had for miniature guitar replicas. And Steve Vai is one of my favorite guitar players. I play guitar. I also play other. I play several different stringed instruments, but the Ibanez Gem, which is a Steve Vai model of guitar that he endorses, it's like his brand, his name brand guitar. Um, they had a model of it on there, and I thought that's cool, and it was free. I have to say that if you go on Thingiverse, this model is free to download, and it's really well done. It comes in two pieces, and I'm gonna paint it up. And I think I want to do the same way that appears the color version that appears in the cover shot for this live stream. You know, kind of a blue on black swirled galaxy like motif. You know, just something cool like that. Um, we'll know for sure when we get there. But it's a nice little fun small project. And right now I'm just doing some of the basic prep work on it. What do you think, Gambit? How do you like my feelings and my decision? There's more to it too. I'm gonna give my subscribers kind of a choice on what my next big project's gonna be coming up here. I've got something on the printer today that I'm gonna share in a little bit. And then I've got something already printed that I'm also gonna share. And then I have something not printed yet, and I'm gonna try and I don't know how to do a poll on my thing. I don't run my channel when I'm live streaming with a PC. I just have my laptop or not my laptop, you agree? Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to know when you got to step away and do what you're feeling and what you want to do that's you know gonna mean something to you and be fun for for everybody to watch. I just felt like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Boga was getting boring as far as live stream content is concerned. Definitely needs a new tip. Gonna have to order some more of these bits. These things are fantastic. Get them on Amazon for I think it was like 8 USD, which is nothing. Of course, everything's more expensive now from when I bought these, so who knows? So the print orientation I used for this part, the neck and headstock, was about this. So there's all the supports were here, and then for the guitar body itself, I think it was probably right about there. So almost zero support on the back. There's no support bumps, just the layer lines. A little bit of layer shifting here, but that'll sand out nice. And then there was like a support right there in the handle, and then little teeny tiny supports along here, and like a couple here and there. So relatively easy to print. I did do it hollow, so I've got 3 drainage holes here, and then 2 more drainage holes here, or those drainage holes. So that reminds me too. I like to take, when I'm done with the print and I've got it cured and washed and everything, washed and cured, I should say, I like to take a little UV light and I'll aim it down into the drainage holes and just kind of try to push that light around as much as I can inside the model, so that if there is any uncured resin, you can see it's almost, turn the light down, you can see the light inside of it right there. You can actually see the light inside of it, so you know that UV light's penetrating and getting into all those little nooks and crannies to get that, any leftover resin, you want to try and get that cured that's inside the model, because you don't want to seal these holes up. You don't want to seal these drainage holes up and then have your model wind up cracking and stuff, or bursting open later with like gooey, super toxic resin spilling out of it. So, and I'll do that with every single printed part that I get. When that's just part of post prep. That's what you do. So open the garage a little bit, get some airflow here. Anyways, how is everyone doing today out there? Gambit, how you doing, man? I'm really digging your latest projects, my dude. I was gonna ask you, dude, like, how's the progress with the Hulk doing? And guys, anybody watching later, if you're looking to check out some other content like this, my pal Gambit Neo here um, has a fantastic channel with some really cool content on it. I highly recommend you going and checking it out. Oh, you already finished it. Did I miss that? Did I miss the finish? Did you already put the video out? The only video I've seen is the one you released about, I think it was like 4 or 5 days ago. You put the video out. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to go check it out, dude. And you are getting the work done, my brother. I'm digging it. So for anybody wondering, the grit of sandpaper I'm using here for this kind of like base sanding to get these support nibs off, support pimples, whatever you want, whatever you guys call them. I'm using 150 grit sandpaper, and then I'm just going to follow that up with the buffing wheel. I'm okay if it's a little bit rough because that can add to kind of the appearance of there being like a wood grain. That's the theory I'm going with, hoping that it works out that way. More than anything, I just want the support marks to be gone. And quickly. I'm not planning on spending a lot of time on this project. It should go pretty quick. It's a nice small little guitar. Just some isopropyl alcohol there. You can wet sand it too. That really does help keep the dust down. Resin takes to that pretty well. Looks good. All right, Gambit. So you're all done with the Hulk. What's next on the agenda? Oh, you're just taking a print off the resin printer right now? Nice. I have on the printer right now is Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker's love interest. But I'm not necessarily doing Mara Jade next. That's the kick. That's where my subscribers are going to come in. Just going to go over these detail parts really lightly. 360 video. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not on Instagram that much. Like, I'm not. It's my Instagram is more like, I have personal stuff on there. You've seen it. I don't just let anybody subscribe to my Instagram. Maybe eventually I'll dedicate I'll start a new channel for Instagram page, whatever the proper terminology is that for that. Um, but I feel satisfied with the amount of um, social media that I do take part of. Going up on Patreon first, very cool. Death from Darksiders from Tanuki Figures. I like their figures. They have some cool stuff out there. I have not done one yet, but one of these days I'm going to find something by them that I want to do. I have so much, though. I mean, I think I have over 500 different models that I could download, or not download, but that I can print. Oh. Okay. Clean off my glasses a little bit here. Pretty satisfied with that part so far. I'm gonna just do the bottom of the guitar body really quick. There we go. need to set up my sander on a vise so I can just, you know, do that. All right, I think that's about as far as I want to go with that one, because this thing takes a lot of material off really quickly. All right, let's see what we got, and I think just about ready to get this thing primer coated. Pretty cool looking guitar. I've never owned an Ibanez 6-string guitar. I have, however, I did used to own an Ibanez. I forget what it was. SG series, maybe. That kind of sounds familiar. It was a 6-string bass guitar. Man, I love that guitar. That thing was fun to play. I sold it before I moved to China back in 2015. I don't even consider playing music really right now. It's too painful with my medical issues that I've got going on. So, whereas 3D printing and painting is a little easier on a lot easier on my body than having my arm bent over a guitar. And I'm too old to like be in a band or anything anymore. Just no desire. Let me catch up with the chat here. And you're prepping Batman of Arkham Knight for paint. Whoa, dude. Okay. All right, man. I'll see you when you get back. I will definitely be here. Jason, what's happening? Never too old to play music. Yeah, no, I still force myself. Well, I don't force myself. I mean, I'm happy to sit down. I mostly, when I do play these days, I'll put on some cool acoustic tunes or something that I like to listen to, and I'll jam along on my mandolin because my mandolin's much smaller profile than a guitar, and um, it's not as impactful on my musculature issues and stuff that I'm having right now. I got medical issues that I'm dealing with in my shoulders, my neck, and when I do try to play guitar, I last maybe about 10 or 15 minutes before my shoulders start spasming and my body says, "Nah, dude, that I don't like that." So there's that. Okay, let me see. So you've been printing World of Warcraft characters and D&D minis. Oh, well, thanks, man. Yeah, the 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 prints you get with resin are friggin' crazy, man. I've actually got two printers going right now that have some different projects on them, but like I also have an FDM printer, but I really don't use it much. You know, once you get into doing figures and stuff, you can't beat the detail that you can get out of resin printing, you know? I mean, and this is all one piece. You know, resin printers are pretty cheap nowadays. Like this is a Halloween build I'm gonna do this year. Sorry, it's kind of sideways, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, look at the broom. You know, like the details are just insane. And if you're into painting stuff, you know, like if you like doing D&D miniatures or Warcraft, you know, minis in general, like definitely resin printing is going to be your that's going to be your get down. I actually offer resin printing services for gamers or you know figure painters. I'm actually going to be doing a 1/4 scale figure as soon as I'm done with this. Uh, that I'm going to let my subscribers pick. But yeah, the detail's crazy. But if you do ever want something printed up, um, my contact email information is in the header on the channel, and you can contact me, and I will print. As long I should preface this by saying, as long as you're in the United States, I would love to send prints to Europe and stuff like that, but mail is just fucking insane getting anything to you know outside of the United States. But I do sell blank prints for hobbyists. You know, if you want something printed, you send me you know, you purchase the file and send me the file, and I'll print it for you. And then all you pay for is the resin and the shipping. I don't charge anything for my time. I just like knowing that there's hobbyists out there that you know want to have some fun painting and stuff, man. So my prices are extremely reasonable. The last person I printed something for, I just had him buy the resin. So he bought the resin on Amazon and had it delivered to my house, and then I printed for him. You know, it was a 1/6 scale figure, but I printed it to him and shipped it out to Florida. And yeah, I don't ask anything for my prints. You just pay for the resin and the shipping, and we'll call it good. I don't need to make any money off of it. It's not what I do this for. Oh, you make your own files. So you do some 3D sculpting, man. That's cool. It is pretty, dude. Like it's crazy the detail you can get with resin. My first printer was an FDM printer, and then I came to the realization that I wanted to do some figure painting, because before I was just printing like dinosaur skulls and shit, and making those look like a real fossil when I was done painting them. And then one day I realized, like, oh dude, I kind of like a Star Wars character would be cool. you know and that sent me down the rabbit hole. Like, after I printed my first Star Wars character with FDM and tried to paint it, the amount of detail that the model commands just can't be achieved with FDM printing. I mean, they get close nowadays. I mean, it's pretty good, but yeah, not even close to the same. Oh, okay, use Blender. That's awesome. It is a ton of work, dude. So exactly why I tell anybody that wants me to print anything for them, like, you go buy the file from the artist. Like, I don't give out free files. I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds of files, and I won't sell them. Like, if you want me to print something, even if I already have the file, you gotta go buy the file, and then you own the file. I'm just printing it for you. Yeah, gotta support the artists. Now, as far as my 3D printed figures, like, if it's fully painted, yeah, I do sell those. I feel like this might even just be easier if I just use a drop of resin in the bottom. And by the way, man, thanks for joining the channel. Are you new to the channel? Did you just start subscribing, or what brings you here? And welcome, man. Thanks for stopping in. Love having you here, brother. I'll bet I can get a drop of resin in there much easier and smoother. So this is just printer resin. And I paint the bottle opaque so no sunlight, like if myself or my wife come home and we open the garage door, which is where my studio is, I paint the bottle opaque so that the sun can't hit the UV resin inside of it. But with the needle dropper, you can go into your little drain on some of these real small drainage holes. Get your 3D pen ready, or your UV pen. Have that ready to go. And then you put your drop of resin here. I think my applicator might be sealed up. Might need a new tip for it. Yeah, it seems clogged. Bear with me. Oh, you just found me today. Oh man, thanks. Dude, thanks for the subscription, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, anytime someone new subscribes, or you hit that like button, it totally helps the channel out, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And like it says in the description for my channel, I'm here to learn with everybody else about this hobby and other hobbies. Like whatever you guys are into, I want to hear about it. I look at my channel. You won't see my face on camera very much. My channel is not about me. It's about the hobby. It's about hobbies in general and our love for the hobbies. And this is just a place for us to hang out and learn together. I have a lot to teach people, and I have a lot to learn from people. So I love it. So thanks, man. There we go. Now we got some business going. Zap that with a little UV light. You play, can't play too much guitar. There's no such thing. I mean, okay, if your fingers are bleeding, which I've done a million times, if you play till your fingers bleed, that could be damaging. But hey, if the jam's good, fucking kill it. My channel is also NSFW in the sense that I cuss a lot. This is for us to just, like I said, everybody's just being themselves here. We're just hanging out. So these are a little elevated, these holes, but I'm going to go back over that and just sand those down real quick with the wheel. But yeah, I'm also a musician. You can see that there. Love the jams, love the tunes. I do miss being in a band sometimes, but then I'm like, I really didn't like playing late night live shows and shit like that. I wasn't cut out for that by the time I got in a band and that was actually kind of serious. I was too old already. Heart just wasn't into staying up late anymore and hanging out at the bar. Having kids will change you too. Which I have one. She's 25 now, so, past the point of no return. But it changes you. Okay. These holes are closing up nicely. It's a little drop, and then you just let surface tension do its thing, and then only takes a couple of seconds for that to cure. And then we'll add another drop. Just to make sure that it's falling in line with the rest of the surface. And that hole is filled. And then you just go over these holes and sand them really quick. Oh, wow. Okay. Got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Congratulations, I think. Being facetious. I think kids are great, but as long as they're other people's kids. Because I'm over it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course. No, it's amazing. I'm happy to be a dad too. I just wouldn't do it again. I mean, I wouldn't do it at the age I am now. I'm 53 now, so no, I'm not not having kids no more. My wife and I are perfectly content to not have children and just enjoy our time vacationing when we do and living the life, as it were. All right. The headstock on this, or sorry, the neck on this is really cool. It might be hard to see. Let me see if I could spray it down. See it a little better. There's actually like a filigree design like a flower vine that goes up the neck, just like in the real guitar. If you look up the Ibanez gem, if you're not familiar with it, this is a really cool. Whoever sculpted this did a great job. I feel bad. I should have checked that before it went live so I could give the name out. But I'll leave the link for this model in the description for anybody who wants to download it. Show the guy some love. Send him some, donate some money to the file if you want, and give the artist some support. But I'll leave the link in the description for you guys. The tree of life is popping out. Yep. All right, last one, and then I think we're ready to set up the airbrush for some primer and possibly start getting some colors down today. Definitely going to be some slight masking involved, not too much, I think. Okay, that guy's good. I don't know if you're into this kind of music, Jason, but there's this band called Hikes. Like going on a hikes. The guitar player is fucking amazing. I'm gonna start the song over again. Maybe we can hear it. Let's listen to this guy.
Do you still go the extra mile? 'Cause it's not coming down the more stairs to the wayside, wondering where I was coming from.
I just recently found these guys. The first song I heard by them was called Onset. And Here, listen to this guy solo here a little bit. Dude's obviously using like alternate tunings and stuff like that, you know. Not sure what he's. I definitely don't think that was Dadgad. Oh, that's sticky. Someone didn't clean his airbrush out very good last time he used it. Yeah, I really dig them a lot. Been listening to them a lot lately too. Dude's just a really good guitar player, and he plays acoustic guitar too, like a madman. Sorry, I'm gonna have to put some airbrush parts in to soak because someone didn't take care of his airbrush after the last session. At least not as well as he should have. So this is a good opportunity for you guys to see how to dismantle this particular airbrush, which is the Harder and Steenbeck 2025 Squidmar Ultra. This was a limited edition one. I think they only made 2,500 of them or something like that, and I got one. It's nothing special. It's nothing different from the standard Ultra, other than it's got the cute, you know, filigree design. I just liked it because it was black and gold. That's the only reason why I bought it. And it's a great airbrush. Oh yeah, my needle's all gummed up there. You can see paint on it, so I didn't clean it out as well as I should have. So I'm going to carefully put that in my jewelry cleaner. And then we're going to take the chuck off and the trigger. So the little jewelry cleaner I use is just a really basic jewelry cleaner, and I use just some distilled water with some airbrush cleaner in it. And I'm going to set that for 280 and turn that on and let those pieces soak for a little bit while I clean this part, to which I just recently bought an actual H&S cleaning kit. Came with this nice cute little leather pouch, but it's got their actual tools that are made for cleaning kit, and then also replacement gaskets. It was like I want to say it was 45 bucks USD, 45 USD for this kit. You can buy really cheap kits on Amazon too, and they do just the same, but these are, for my airbrushes, I personally just prefer to use the H&S products if I can help it. So I just got a little cup of alcohol here. And I just want to get my Q-tip in there to get any paint out that I can. Any residue you can see. Bad airbrush owner. But you know, if you ever watch like Ground Affected or anything, you know, like Brent, I don't know if Brent, if you do clean your airbrushes like this periodically, let me know, man, if you come across this video. But I don't know that I've seen Brent do this kind of his airbrushes look pretty beat up sometimes. But I recommend not leaving any. If you're gonna walk away from your airbrush for more than 5 minutes, even like 3 minutes, I just clean the paint out. You know, if you've got paint in it, just go ahead and clean it out. It'll save you from having a bad day. Gambit, you strike me as somebody who's probably just as anal retentive and like careful with his airbrushes as I am. I know you have the Infinity CR Plus by Harder and Steenbeck, among a couple of other airbrushes, I think. And my Infinity, I mean, I think I paid almost 475 USD, 375 USD. I don't remember what it was, but I'm really careful about trying to clean them most of the time. Just it's an expensive product, and you want to take care of your shit so that it's going to last you a long time. But I also like it to look pretty. I'm not going to lie. I like to retain its integrity. I like to open that case and go, whoa, you know, have that little angel moment. So I try to take care of my shit, and I just recommend to everybody else, like, take care of your airbrush. It'll last you an entire lifetime if you take good care of it. You know, clean it out either every time you use it, after every session, or at least try to get it really well cleaned out as best you can. Just take care of it. It'll last you forever. Okay, that's looking good. Oh, what paints do I use? Jason, sorry I missed that question. That's a great question. I'll give you a little paint tour. Starting from the cheapest, this is a brand that I use called Roisafar. I found these guys about 3-4 years ago, and just I really like their airbrush paints. It's an Amazon. It's on Amazon. They're dirt cheap, and I really like the way their paint works. I get very happy results every time. Then, of course, you're in the mini world. You like doing D&D figures. There's Citadel. I've got quite a few Citadel. Oh, hang on a second here. With this big air hose in the way. Okay. So there's all my Citadel paints. And then, of course, Vallejo. I'm a big fan of Vallejo paints. I use a lot of their paints. And then to give you a quick little studio tour, that's the paint bench right there. And then I've got that's my music monitor up there, basically. And then I use my iPad. That's my iPad that I use for monitoring the chat. And then over here is my airbrush compressor along with my jewelry cleaner. Rattle cans, you know, for big projects, primers. And then moving on to the printers, I got my Photon Max, Anycubic Photon Max, and then the Anycubic M7 Pro. And right now, I've got, it's looking pretty good, Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker's love interest, is on the print, and I can already see in her ass right there. There's a major layer shift, and we've got some print delamination going on there. But for the most part, it looks like a lot of these parts are printing well, but I'll have a few pieces to reprint. That happens sometimes. Could be a little too warm in there too. I may need to increase the airflow. Oh, there's no airflow. Shit, I didn't have my fan on. So you can see I have these fireproof enclosures, and I have a ducting fan that is inside this one, and then it blows all the fumes out through the garage door. And then this is the fan control here. And you can see when I turn it on, if I could stop shaking. When I turn it on, you can see it'll actually pull the walls of the printer in. And then that's the air intake right here. You can really feel the air getting sucked into there. It's really good at keeping the fumes out, which is something my wife was huge about, was making sure the fumes were not there. And then these workbenches come with nice drawers. Got sanding elements and markers and other doodads and stuff I need. Masking tape, other doodads and shit I need, you know, just stuff to make stuff with. And these are some finished projects. We got Juggernaut up there, Ahsoka Tano, and my favorite, Beast, Mr. Hank McCoy from the X-Men. Hello, Hank. And then that's my washing station down there, along with where I take the prints off. That's a curing station. And then this is the photography booth. So when I finish a model, it goes in that box, and that's where I take pictures. And then this is the FDM/purgatory where Obi-Wan Kenobi rides Boga is slowly coming along. I've got some parts primered here. If you go to my live streams, you can see where I've been working on her. That's her body. And if you want to get a gauge of size, that's how big her body is with my hand holding on to it. So massive, massive project. And if you watch at the beginning of this live stream, I explain why I'm kind of taking a break from that project right now and working on some other stuff. But just to recap on that, I was feeling a lot of pressure to get that model done by August, and I decided I wasn't feeling inspired by rushing myself, and I decided that I wanted to step away from it for a little while to work on some other projects. And here we are. Okay. Now that that rant is over, pull these parts out, get them cleaned up and reassembled, and we'll be ready to lay some color down. Oh, you're very welcome, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's been my studio is a constant work in progress ever since I started this hobby 2.5, 3 years ago. So the studio is kind of ever evolving. At this point, I do want to add another workbench, and I want to paint the wall of the studio black. And then I want to add some curtain tracks with large curtains to cover up the back side of the garage, so that I don't have to look at all the shit we have stored in here. And that should pretty much complete me and my happiness with how my studio looks and feels. What is it you do the same way, Gambit? I'm sorry, I missed. Oh, you clean your airbrush the same way. Like, every time you use it, you're pretty careful about that. Okay, so Jason airbrushes as well. That's cool. Awesome. Okay, got it. Sometimes when I walk away from the bench, I miss the chat for a minute, so I got to take a second to catch up. Be cool if I had like if like my glasses had a little HUD and I could see the chat pop up in my glasses. That'd be some like that would be some next gen tech that I could get into. No paint in my needle. Or in my nozzle, I should say. And we're ready to go back together here. But hi to everyone in the chat. Welcome to the 3D Painter. My name is Ron. I am your host. Feels so weird saying that shit. Started this channel about a little over, just a teeny bit over a year ago, at the behest of friends and family telling me I should show my work and, you know, teach people how to do this. So that's what I'm doing. That's why we're here, is to share the hobby of 3D printing and painting models with everyone, and just to hang out, have fun, and learn about stuff and how to do stuff. But mostly just to like hang out and bullshit and paint some cool things and just have fun. My channel is NSFW in the sense that I do cuss. I speak freely on my channel. It's my channel. I do whatever the fuck I want. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Keep scrolling. But if you like it, if you want to hang out, cool, let's do this. All right, she's all put back together. I don't use the needle protector. I always take mine off when I'm working. You don't have to. Some people like it off. Some people like it on. I don't like it when it's on. Don't like it. I need some beverage. I have a soda stream, and my new kick when I got a sugar fix to satisfy is I mix Pepsi and Mountain Dew Code Red. So it's basically like a cherry Pepsi. And it's so freaking good. Like, remember when you were a kid and you would go to the soda fountain and like mix up every fucking flavor? Like, it's kind of like that. I don't mean that's what it tastes like, but it's basically like cherry Pepsi. It's yummy, and I like it. All right, so getting on to primer. Oh, wait, no, we can't do primer. Not yet. Ooh, caught myself. Got to sand a little bit. Oh, that one popped. I am going to be printing a little stand for this guitar. Oh, you know what I can use that hole for? I'll just put a little tiny piece of hardware in there, like a screw or something. Make it look like a strap attachment. Think I'll leave it alone. Or I'll just change my mind and fill that back in and... So for anybody else in the chat too, if you're new to the channel, type in the comments, you know, what brought you here? Is it just because I'm doing Steve Vai's gem guitar today? Do you own a gem guitar? And if so, tell me about it, because I'm not familiar with this guitar. I just thought it was eye-catching and really pretty. I also really like Steve Vai and his playing. Dude's a fucking legend in the guitar world, along with the likes of well, my personal favorites, you know, guys like Jeff Beck, Jeff Buckley. I mean, God, I have so many favorite guitar players. Let me catch up with the chat here. Okay, Jason, thank you for stopping by, man. Yeah, probably time to go be a dad, I'm sure. Appreciate your company and your time, dude. Like, welcome by anytime. I try to live stream every day. This project's probably only going to take a couple days, a couple sessions, but I'll look forward to seeing you again, man. And for anybody else watching, please drop a like in the chat if you could. I totally appreciate it. The algorithm appreciates it. More than anything, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys. Check my airbrush pressure. We're right about 18 psi. And the way I like to prep my paint up, I've already used the paint shaker, but we're going to give it another quick shake just to ensure it's really well mixed. Yeah, Jason, thanks again for stopping by, man. Really appreciate you. Much love. It's funny in the video, it looks like my shaker's moving really slowly, but it's actually hauling ass. Just depending on the RPM that you set it to, just makes it look like it's moving slower. You know, because science and physics and stuff. Frame rate probably has something to do with it. Okay, cool. And now I'm gonna load up a cup with some primer. And we're gonna get this baby primered and ready to receive color. Should be looking pretty cool, I hope. I've been trying out thinner lately, which was something I didn't really do before. You can use distilled water. You can spend a few bucks on some thinner and flow improver for your airbrush. I've personally found that I rather like it, you know, using the thinner instead of water. I just seem to have better results. What I'm doing now is I have a pipette here, and I'm just using that to suck paint into it and then squirt it back out to mix it really well with the thinner that I just added. Okay. And here we go. And for this primer coat, I'm just using a Vallejo flat black primer. Not matte, but flat. I like my first coat to be a little thick, so when I'm spraying, I like to get just as I'm starting to see a glossy sheen, and that's it. I like flat paint for primer, just because it really absorbs paint better. It holds on to the paint much better than like a matte black does. And with very few exceptions, I might use like a gray primer or something. But typically, I'm always using a matte black or a flat black. My bad. Airbrush is being a little stubborn right now. There we go. Do I only use primer with the airbrush? What do you mean? Do I only airbrush primer on to a model? Is that what you mean, Gambit? Just want to make sure I understand what you're asking. No, I actually love using cans for primer. It just depends on what I'm doing. I do find that airbrushing gets a finer coat of paint than like a typical rattle can, unless you're buying really high quality rattle cans. Like Citadel primer is fucking magical. That stuff's really amazing. But it's also insanely expensive. I think it's about 17, maybe 20 USD. Shit, with the way prices are right now, it's probably 20 USD for a can. It wouldn't surprise me. But typically, I use Krylon brand. I don't know if you can get that where you are, but here in the United States, Krylon Fusion is what it's called, and it's a really good, cheap brand of paint. But for this model, I definitely wanted to use an airbrush just to get a finer coat of paint on there. A more, a controlled layer of paint, I guess I could say. Yeah, Citadel's, it's really good stuff, but it's just stupid expensive. But it's, it's one of those situations where you get what you pay for, if you want a really quality spray out of a rattle can, buy Citadel. That stuff's incredible. It really is. I really do like this Vallejo primer though. Out of the airbrush, this stuff is really good. In fact, I'm starting to get a little bit low. I'm gonna need to buy some more. But it goes a long way. I'll say that. You get a good thick coating on here. I was hoping I was going to get into more coloring today. Prep took a little longer than I wanted it to. That's all right. I want it to look good. My buddy's going to be putting this on display at his house. It's got to look killer, you know. All right. I want a nice thick layer of primer on here because when I start putting the gloss colors down, I want it to be nice and smooth look. Might actually take another couple of coats. Either that or I'll just do the gloss coats once this layer's dried. At this thickness of primer coat, probably good to just let it dry overnight before I put another coat down, because I don't want the paint to get mobile. The last thing you want is for that paint to start moving around while you're trying to airbrush the color on, as I know some of you already know that. You can speed up the process though by cheating and putting a blow dryer to it. You just want to hold it a decent distance away so that the air doesn't start pushing any paint down if it's too thick or anything. Experience and failure always make the lesson. Yeah, Gambit, you have been kicking ass, man. Maybe in a way you kind of inspired me to get going on some other projects. You know, I see a lot of the other channels and hobbyists like yourself that I follow. I see everybody turning out all this cool work, and here I am, still sitting on Obi-Wan Kenobi rides Boga. Oh, what was that? A drop of water or something fall on there. But more than anything, I just realized that I needed to not put so much pressure on myself to get something done in a deadline that I don't have any like investment in. Like, it's just the county fair. I don't need to. I can enter something else. It doesn't have to be Obi-Wan Kenobi rides Boga. What's more important to me is that project is perfect when I'm done with it. That's all I care about. I want to feel like I really took the time to do it the way it deserved to be done and get it done right. Yeah, man, I I really like to take my time, especially with something I'm passionate about, like Star Wars or a guitar. Uh, I want to enjoy it, and that fucking model is so big that there's days where it just feels like God, I'm never gonna get this done, and I need that feeling right now. So I decided to do something different, and I think that's important. Like step back, take your time, really make sure that you're really enjoying doing what you're doing. And the second it's not enjoyable for a minute, stop doing it. You know, I mean, I'm really enjoying. It's like I said earlier. I am enjoying working on that model, but I think I would enjoy it more um, when I've got some other projects under my belt and things are feeling right. I don't know how else to put it. I just felt like I wasn't getting enough done, and I've got some cool projects I want to do this year. This being kind of a new idea that I wanted to do with a buddy of mine who wanted some replica guitars made. So that's what spurned this on. Plus, I have a model on the printer right now that I'm working on for Mara Jade. I love Star Wars. I love doing Star Wars projects. I want to do it, and a lot of my. I don't know if you were there for the chat earlier this year. I was saying that I want to concentrate on honoring the women in our lives, be it comic books or legend, things like that this year. And I really like some of the figures and models that Abe 3D does. Shout out to Abe 3D. Your work is amazing, and I'm going to be, in fact, Mara Jade that I'm printing out right now is by Abe 3D. His Mara Jade is phenomenal. And I'm doing her lightsabers in clear, and they're going to be hollow, and they're going to be electrified, so those will light up. It's going to be badass. For now, I'm only doing this guitar just for starters, but depending on how I like it and how the sort of customer likes it, I may do more. I'm just playing around and killing some time while I'm waiting for these prints to be done. In fact, while this is drying a little bit, we can go take a look at how this print's going along. Oh yeah, you can really see where it shifted there. So gonna have to print that ass again. It's looking like most everything's coming out really good so far. There's something in the back. Oh, it looks like some supports just fell off there. But it looks like it's still printing just fine. So that's good. As long as the connection point, is good, we're okay. And then I've got her lightsabers here in the Photon in the M7 Pro. I'm gonna need my neck thingy for this. Bear with me. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock already. Shit. Oh, they're looking good. So I'm printing 3 blades. And those are hollowed out. And I'm printing them in clear. Printing in clear is so cool. You can see when the LED turns on, or the UV light. Seven seconds per layer with this resin. So that'll be a minute before that's done. Those will be done probably in the middle of the night. But they're making good time, so that's cool. And we're looking good here too, so probably just start reprinting her butt and the other body parts tomorrow. These will be done, and I might even actually start getting to print them tonight. See, we're at 52% right now. So yeah, we're a little over halfway there. A couple more hours, it'll be done. I can, oops. Don't forget to put the lid on. A couple more hours, those will be done. And then I can start printing the pieces I need to reprint. Give my airbrush a really good backwash here. Right. That set aside for a moment. All right. It's looking good. It's a good start. Well, Gabbett, I will have to look forward to seeing you perhaps tomorrow, possibly. I have got to get moving for the day. I have accomplished what I could accomplish in the 2 hours I had today. For the most part, it's looking pretty good. We'll have some mild cleanup to do, namely on this part. A little bit more buffing. Probably use some steel wool on it once it dries out. Some really fine steel wool to get that paint kind of buffed out and cleaned up, ready for some gloss. I'm basically treating it like it's a real wood, guitar, as far as the painting process would go. But yeah, dude, have yourself a good night, man. Thank you, chat. Appreciate you guys. Drop a like if you could in the chat section before you bounce out today. But I have got to get going. Well, I've got a little bit of time here. I'm gonna still clean out my airbrush, so I'll just set this aside here for now. But I hope everybody's having a super awesome day. You guys are feeling good and family's doing well. That's one thing I don't like about this airbrush. You got to remember to push the cup in pretty good. But I really appreciate you stopping by today, Gambit. Thank you, man. I'm going to have to go on Instagram and check out your Hulk finish. And again, anybody else watching later or right now, if you want to check out some more content from another creator, go check out Gambit Neo. He's here in the chat with us right now. I think he's still here. Oh, hey, what's up, Aaron? I didn't know you were watching, man. Welcome, dude. But yeah, go show Gambit some love. Give him a sub if you like, and check out his work. The guy's pretty prolific. He's got some really cool models out there that he's done, and he's got a lot more coming. So you can look forward to some good content there as well. A little bit of jewelry cleaner, or airbrush cleaner, I guess. Oh, you're welcome, dude. Yeah, Gambit, have yourself a good night, brother. Good to see you, bud. Or, I mean, as much as we see each other on YouTube. I gotta reach over here, grab my airbrush case. But yeah, anybody still in the chat have any questions, comments, concerns? hit me up. Any suggestions are always welcome. Doesn't mean I'll take them, but they're always welcome. What everybody have for dinner tonight? What are you having for dinner tonight? I am making fried chicken with mashed potatoes and corn for my wife and I tonight. Fresh corn. And I'm going to brine it and season it and then boil it because corn is amazing that way. And I actually like to melt butter into the water that it's boiling in. So oh my God, it's so amazing. The corn just comes out super crispy and crunchy and yummy. And my wife and many other friends that I've made my fried chicken for claim that my fried chicken is the best fried chicken they've ever had. If I ever make fried chicken for you, I will let you decide. Don't waste paint. Especially when you're running out of good paint. Yeah, this is looking pretty cool. Next up, we'll start putting a gloss coat on. Does need a little bit of sanding right here. There's a layer shift line. It's a big layer shift up here. You can see the line from the layer shift right there. That's the tilt that it was at. And then the layer shifted, so it caused a bump. I don't know, I might end up reprinting the body. It'd be kind of neat to print the body solid, actually. Take a lot of resin, but it'd be kind of fun to print the body solid. Might come out better that way. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think it over while this is drying. But for now, I think we've done pretty well today. And there's the beginning of our Steve Vai gem guitar. It's pretty sweet. I love the shape of this guitar. So Steve, if you come across this is for you, buddy. Pretty cool guitar model. All right, chat. Well, hey, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys, and I definitely want you all to have a super nice day. Happy 3D printing, happy painting, happy guitar playing, and much love to you and yours. All right. Yeah, I'm all done today, buddy. I'm sorry. Oh, man, that's really nice to hear that, dude. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, dude. Thanks, man. That means a lot. Yeah, I would like to watch. I would like to do more today, but I'm out of time. I've got to do some housewife stuff. I am the housewife right now. But yeah, I got to kind of wrap it up so I can get dinner prepped and stuff like that. My wife will be home in about a half an hour and gonna make us a nice dinner. We're gonna watch a show probably. Got new episodes of The Punisher out tonight with John Bernthal. Shout out to Johnny. What's up, bud? And everybody else in that show is just absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then I'll be getting on to play some Arc Raiders, which you still have never hit me up about playing. But yeah, I get it. We're all busy in our own ways and stuff. The new map condition is freaking insane and super fun to do. But yeah, I'm getting carried away here. Have a nice day. Happy 3D printing. Happy painting, everyone. I love you. And that's it. I love you guys. Have a good night. Toodles.